everybody, it's Kendra. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. Okay, so my video today is just going to be kind of like a whole bunch of clips and photos pushed together and some voiceover from yours truly. Just kind of like a Wisconsin in the fall sort of vlog. I was up in my parents' house a few weeks ago, and I made a ton of applesauce. So I'm going to show you like picking the apples and not making the sauce, because making the sauce is like too complicated and I don't need to bring in filming equipment for that. But I'll throw in some photos of what we did. And then, yeah, just kind of like some photos and a little chit chat about some stuff that we did down here, like down in the Madison, Wisconsin area. So anyway, here is a look at Wisconsin in the fall.
All right, so this would not be a Wisconsin vlog without checking out some gorgeous fall colors. So my parents do live on a lake, so this shot is from their pier. Oh my goodness, it was just stunning. So the first thing I did when I went up north was to dump some composting worms and some compost into my parents' garden. If you saw my worm video from a few weeks ago, you know I had mentioned that I was going to be doing this. So I did. I took about 5 gallons of compost and worms up to their garden. And this is actually really neat to do, because I would say probably within 10 minutes of dumping all the worms and the compost into the garden, there were no worms to be found. They had burrowed down, found a nice new home. All right, so next up, we are in my parents' apple orchard. So they have a small little orchard. I'd say there are probably like 25 or 30 trees, both wild and domestic species. So here I am going up on the ladder to pick a whole bunch of apples. This tree was really loaded. I cannot remember what this tree was called. Golden something? I want to say it's something golden. My dad loves this tree. They do produce a nice sweet apple. And I've got to say, it's very handy being 6 feet tall with very long arms when it comes to apple picking. But for the trees that I cannot reach, I've got this cool doohickey thing here. What is this called? That's the trivia question of the day. Anybody know? Yeah, so I picked a ton of apples.
Oh, I don't know if I can get those. Come here. Whoa! Nope.
Alrighty, so here is everything that we picked. I think we got 4 or 5 different varieties. I know one is called Wolf River and one is Sweet 16, but I can't remember the rest. And my dad did have this cool little cart he put on his lawn tractor, so that was very helpful to take home. So we did make applesauce. So we ended up making applesauce for an entire day. This was such a process. But we ended up with 10 quarts of applesauce along with 40 pints. And I have to show you our little helpers from when we were picking apples. So this is one of my mom's kitties. This is Louise, also known as Lulu. And this is Thelma, also known as Thelly. Yes, her kitties are Thelma and Louise. Also at my parents' house, they do have a bunch of Concord grapes. So I ended up picking about 5 pounds. And I brought them back to our apartment, and I made this really good kind of mulled grape cider sort of stuff. Oh my gosh, it was so tasty. And then also while I was up north, I made cold processed soap. So I've taken classes on doing this, but I've never actually done it myself. So this batch was just olive oil and goat milk. And then this batch was olive oil, coconut oil, goat milk, with lavender essential oil, ground oats, and ground lavender. All right, and now it is time for some art. So this was actually after I got back from being up north. So this is an event called Farm Art Detour, and it's usually part of Fermentation Fest. I love Fermentation Fest, but I don't even know if they did Fermentation Fest this year because of the pandemic. But yeah, this is an every other year event, and basically a bunch of artists come together. They work with the local community. They put up giant art installations. You know, some of them are in farm fields, some of them are just next to the road. But yeah, it's a really, really cool event, and you can get, you know, fairly close to some of the art. Really see how everything is made. I just thought this sign was so cute. And finally, here's a cute little pic of me and my hubby in our cool little vote masks from Amy Kushel in San Francisco. And then in the middle of the art tour, we stopped at this pumpkin patch, squash stand, gourd place that I love, 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 love. I think this is the 3rd year we've been there, but it is fabulous. The gal has all different types of pumpkins and gourds and squash, just like the craziest varieties. It's so fun. to look at everything that she has. It's one of those hidden gems that you kind of have to know about. We discovered it a couple years ago at Fermentation Fest, and we were just driving to Fermentation Fest, and I saw all these pumpkins, and I said, whoa, 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 brakes. And we stopped there, and I've been coming back every year since. So this side of the stand was mainly like squash and more of the edible stuff. And then at the end, she had some gourds. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I wish I had a house with a porch and could just go crazy and buy all these gourds. Look at that. These things are so cool. Gremlins. Oh my gosh, love it. Goonies, Gremlins. And then finally, we had to snap a pic by this pumpkin, which was 120 pounds, but this was not grown by the lady who grows all of these squash. And there's my cute little hubby and me. So happy it's fall.
All right, and now I do want to do kind of a squash haul. I want to show you exactly which squash I picked up at that little roadside stand. So I love going there. I've been going there the last 3 years. The lady who owns it is so sweet. We were chatting with her this year. And one thing I thought that was really cute, she was like, a pumpkin is something you carve, a squash is something you eat, and a gourd is something you use for decoration. So everything I bought today for me is a squash because I only bought stuff that I know that I can eat. So anywho, here we go. So first of all, I got 3 butternut squash. So last year I actually went there and I think I bought like 10 or 12 butternut squash and I froze a ton of soup. I used all of the butternut squash to make soup, and I will be using my butternut squash here to make soup. And if you tune into my channel in a couple weeks, I'm gonna show you how I freeze the soup. And I know this does not sound exciting, but it's so exciting. And I'm doing a giveaway with this really cool company with their product that is what I use to freeze soup, and it's so good. So definitely like keep an eye out for that. So yeah, 3 butternut squash, and then I did get 2 acorn squash, but I've already eaten one of them. All right, and then I got this baby. So this is called like it's something Sanders. It's like Elma Sanders or Emla, something Sanders. I know it's Sanders because of Bernie Sanders. But I got this like a week and a half ago, and I need to eat this because it's already got like a funky spot. So I think I'm gonna chop that out and probably bake this maybe for lunch. All right, and then I got these 2 babies. I believe these are called baked potato or mashed potato. They had both. One of them was very, very white, and one of them was more kind of like a creamy white, sort of yellow, like not as white. I think the mashed potato was the really white one and the baked potato was slightly darker. Can't remember. No idea about the flavor of most of these. But yeah, this gal has so many different varieties. So I just go crazy. All right, and this I believe is a kabocha. We've gotten a couple of these in our CSA, very good flavor. All right, then we got 2 of these cute little jobbies. I believe these are called honey butternut, butterscotch, butternut, something like that. I'll like write the name in here. But these are meant to be just like individual little, kind of like butternut squash, but I believe these are meant to be sweeter. Maybe they're called honey nut. I don't know, I'll research it. How cute are they though? They're just little precious little squash. I know, it keeps on going. And let me tell you, all of the squash I bought, I think I got for $33. It's just one of those little places, you know, the roadside stands, it has an old coffee can with a lid on it with a little hole in it, and you just drop in your cash. This, I believe, is a type of buttercup squash. Don't remember the proper name. That looks gorgeous. I think buttercup squash tend to be dry, but they tend to have the most flavor. I think that's how it is. I think if the squash is like more moist, it doesn't have the greatest flavor, but I think when they're drier, I could be totally wrong. When they're drier, I think they're sweeter. All right, and then we got this big honker. This, I believe, is something similar to a red curry squash, which is amazing. Red curry squashes are so delicious and sweet. I want to say this was called like Hokkaido, but I could be mistaken. I should probably turn this into soup too. Just like looking at all these squash is kind of overwhelming because I'm good at buying squash, but then I need to actually use them. All right, you thought I was done? Nope, I still have another bag of squash. So now you're gonna see how mature I am at 35 years old. This is a type of butternut and it's called Dick's Pick. Not Dick Pick, Dick's Pick. So this is a regular butternut and then this is the Dick's Pick. I'm sure there was just a man named Richard who was called Dick and this was his prized squash. Of course I had to buy it for my juvenile mind. All right, we got 2 left and I don't remember the names of either of these. So I think both of these are some form of Italian or French heirloom. This might be French. I know the other one I'm going to show you is Italian. Yeah, isn't that pretty? That's just, I mean, this could totally be used as like an outside decoration, but all of the pumpkin squash I bought, I made sure that they all said that they tasted good, like that they could all be eaten. All right, and then finally we have this jobby. This guy kind of looks ugly, like I'm touching him. I don't think this is starting to go bad. I mean, I've only had these like a little over a week, but isn't he ugly? I think this one is meant to taste quite good. I feel like this could be a relative of like the buttercup family. All right, so that is everything I got from the random little roadside squash stand. Love this place. If you are in Dane County, Sauk County, it's in Sauk County, but if you're in Dane, you'd be close enough. It's like an hour drive for us. I will put GPS coordinates down below. Like I'll put a Google link for kind of like the approximate location for this place in case you are interested in going there. So thank you so much for coming along with me on my little adventures in Wisconsin in the fall. This is my absolute favorite time of year. I love the way it smells. I love when the leaves start changing colors and gets that nice little bit of Christmas crispness. So thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.